Alright, so here is an impromptu unboxing video. So this big box here just arrived from my buddies at Yamaha. So inside this box, there should be a guitar. Now, the reason this is impromptu is because I knew this was coming, but I didn't know it was going to arrive exactly when it did this morning. So I've literally just gotten this from the UPS guy at my front door, come straight in the studio and turn the cameras on. But also there's been a couple of bumps in the road along the way involving me getting my hands on this guitar. So the conversation to get this into my hands actually started maybe like 2 years ago. But due to a bunch of different things going on in the world, Yamaha basically couldn't keep enough stock of these guitars because of the demand. They were just literally going from the factory, straight to the shops, straight to the customers. So it's taken a while for me to actually get one, but it's finally arrived. Now, I did know this was coming because I've spoken to the guys at Yamaha who told me it was on the way, but I didn't know when it was going to arrive. I knew it was going to arrive this week at some point, and lo and behold, I'm sat here doing some editing. There's a knock at the door. I open the door, and there's a guy with a big box. So I thought, let's turn the cameras on and open it up and knock all the pedals off my shelf while I'm at it. So inside this box, there should be a Yamaha Revstar. So let's crack the box open and find out. Now, I've been talking with Yamaha about getting a Revstar for some videos for a long time. I've done some Revstar videos, as you may have already seen on the channel. We shot a bunch at 42 Gear Street. And then the opportunity finally came maybe like a month ago where Yamaha were finally able to say to me, okay, what do you want? We can finally get one out to you. So what I asked them to send me was a Revstar Standard in Hot Merlot, the one with the P90s. So if you have seen the video I shot at 42 Gear Street with my buddy Rich from Rich Words Music, where he kind of introduced me to the Yamaha range, because actually up until that point, I hadn't really played Revstars properly. In that video, we looked at the entire range from the Element series right up to the Professional series, and honestly, the Standard with P90s was the one that instantly got my attention. And since that day, which is about 2 years ago, I have been desperate to get one. So the day is finally here. So here we go. This is a big old box. It's very heavy. Okay. That was an undertaking, wasn't it? Right. So this has come very well packaged. It's quite weighty. So I can see from the label on the top that this is the guitar that I asked for. So here we go. The only downside to new guitar days is the huge amount of cardboard you always end up with in your house at the end of it. I know that's something that I always end up having to deal with, is getting rid of lots of cardboard. So this comes in a nice gig bag, actually. I didn't know this was coming with the gig bag, but this is a really nice gig bag on first look. It's sort of a kind of padded gig bag. It's not one of those kind of, fully form-fitted touring gig bags that you get from companies like Mono, but this is a really good quality gig bag. I wouldn't actually hesitate to take the guitar out in this. I maybe wouldn't put this gig bag in the back of a van if I was on the road for a week, but, just to take this out to a gig if I'm just going in my car or whatever, it's a really good gig bag. It feels nice and supported. There's a lot of storage, actually. There's some big pockets. There's no goodies in the pockets, though. Or is there? We've got an owner's manual with some truss rod tools, which is always useful. Okay. I'm going to hit myself in the face and flip the gig bag around and let you guys see what's inside. Have I opened this wrong? Nope. Okay. So there should be, I haven't looked yet, but there should be a Hot Merlot Revstar in there with P90 pickups. Is there? Yes, there is. So the gig bag's got some nice padding inside as well, which is always good. Oh, there it is. Wow. I have literally been so desperate to get my hands on this guitar for like 2 years now. I've waited for this to come. And here it is. Wow. The Revstar, I always forget the model number. This is the RSS02T, which is the Revstar standard with the P90s. I like this one more than the humbucker one. The humbucker one I thought was a great guitar, but in the video I made with Rich, I talk about some things that this one could do that I just personally felt gave it like an extra kind of 10% over the humbucker one. I am more of a single coil player anyway these days. I prefer lower output pickups. So the P91 coupled with a couple of the onboard features literally made this ideal for what I wanted. So there it is. This is the standard, as I said. So this is the middle one in the collection. So you've got the Elements, which is the basic one, and then you've got the Professional at the top end, which is the sort of £2,000 top pro line series. This is smack bang in the middle. These are Indonesian made, but they are incredible instruments for the money. So this is the Hot Merlot finish. I went back and forth on a couple of different finishes for a while because there was a few I liked, but ultimately this was the one I went for because it was the Hot Merlot one at Gear Street that really kind of, you know, caught my attention and hooked me in. So I thought, well, if I'm going to get a Revstar, I'm going to have to get that one. So this is a mahogany body. Now, it's a good weight, but it's not super heavy. The mahogany is chambered in a certain way that impacts the guitar's resonance and a few other things, which we'll go into when I do the more in-depth video on this guitar. But it's all mahogany. We've got this very, very high gloss Hot Merlot finish, the two P90s, the tailpiece, which, again, I just like that aesthetic. The other one with the humbuckers has the regular two pneumatic style. I just like the aesthetic of the tailpiece as well. You've got a volume and a tone and a 5-way switch, which is really cool. And then on the tone control, you can pull the pot up and it activates what's called the focus switch. And it sort of turns the pickups into like overwound pickups. It sort of shaves off a little bit of the highs, pushes the mids and pushes the output a bit more. And the reason I like it with the P90s is because on the humbucker guitar, focus switch kind of acts as a boost. It makes the humbuckers like higher output humbuckers. But on the P91, it kind of turns the P90s into humbuckers, which for me, it makes that a little bit more versatile because then I've got 5 single coil positions and then kind of 5 fake humbucker positions. These guitars also have a mahogany neck, which is carbon reinforced, which obviously adds to the tuning stability. There's some carbon fiber rods in the neck and in the body, which increase the resonance, but also when you're traveling with the guitar and it goes from different heats and humidities, it just keeps it a little bit more in tune. So yeah, like I said, I've been waiting for this for a long time, and I mean, yeah, I'm very, very excited to finally have this. I can't wait to take it out on the road and gig test it, and there's going to be a full-length video on this where I go hard into the specs of this thing and what it can do. But for now, I'm just going to plug it in and we'll hear some out-of-the-box sounds. All right, so it's tuned up, plugged in to the Blackstar Studio 10 6L6, which is going by the 2-notch Torpedo Captor X. The 5-way switch is really cool because even though there's just 2 pickups, when you're in the 2 and 4 positions, they kind of do their own interpretation of that kind of stratty 5-way out of phase thing. And the way it works is it delays the opposite pickup. So when it's in the 2 position, this is the kind of main pickup. And then it works by delaying this pickup. And then in the 4 position, it's the opposite, where this is the main pickup. And it sort of delays this one to create like a kind of like a fake out of phase. So out of the box, it tuned up pretty well. It comes with Elixir strings. They've settled in quite nicely. There's not really anything I would really tweak with this setup wise. Maybe like slightly lowering the action and maybe slightly lowering the pickups because they look quite high. But other than that, it's really much where I would want it. I guess the pickups are quite close to the strings from the factory, but that's a really easy tweak. So I'm just going to play a little bit now, play some clean tones, move through all 5 pickup positions. So those P90s are really full sounding, but they've still got the right amount of sparkle that you need from a single coil. In the in-between positions, you get those nice kind of slightly out of phase things. The focus switch is also a really cool thing because you have that chimey single coil clean. Then when you engage that, you get this really throaty sort of variation on the tone. Kind of pushes it more into humbucker territory. So now I'm just going to kick on the Kernam Ridge Overdrive and I'll just play a bit more. So I just think there's something really kind of special about P90s. They're a very, very versatile kind of pickup that, for me, I tend to prefer the sound of over humbuckers. I am more of a single coil player these days, so if there's something that has a little bit more kind of top-end sparkle, I'm kind of all in. So yeah, that's great. I love the sound of this thing out the box. The focus switch with overdrive is also incredibly useful. And for me, that was one of the big selling points, is because it now transforms this guitar into a pretty good approximation of the humbucker version. Now for me, that is incredibly useful because as a gigging musician, this guitar can cover a lot of ground. So I'm very excited to get this thing out on the road now and really kind of put it through its paces, road test it and see how it holds up. And then I'm going to be making a full-length video really going hard on the specs of this thing. If you've got a Revstar already, I'd love to hear your experience with one. Let me know down below in the comments. And if you want one, which one would you go for? For me, it had to be the P91 in Hot Merlot. So big thanks to my guys at Yamaha for hooking me up with this thing. I can't wait to get this thing on the road and see what it's like. As I said earlier, there's a full-length video coming on this thing very, very soon, so please keep watching for that. While you're letting me know down below in the comments your own Revstar stories, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you so much for watching.